The booth is in a rough state right now. I really let it sell down a ton. I've sold a few big pieces of furniture. I've sold a table. I've sold a cabinet. Actually sold 2 cabinets, table, cabinet. Oh, and the bottom half of a Hoosier cabinet. That's right. So things have been moving, which is always a positive, but I am ready to bring in the new stuff. Only 6 days before Halloween, I have been cleaning and pricing my butt off. I was supposed to start this process like a week ago. I had more, I guess, pieces that need just a little bit of glue or to be cleaned, a little bit of feed and wax to really make it shine. So now that I'm finally in a good space with that, like I'm almost done, maybe have 15 more items to price, we can finally move on. We can finally start this process. I'm really gonna be focusing on the back half of the booth. You guys know that I kind of built a boutique up in the front part of the booth for Tori to put her clothing. I have some clothing up there as well, and I do stuff up there. I add some furniture, I move stuff around, but the focus is really gonna be on this back half. I'll work on that a little bit, but this is the main focus. So what we need to do today is go through what we currently have and take out items that I think maybe would be better for the spring or the summer of next year. So like a good example of something that I'm gonna take out of here today. These faux irises. These are very spring. That's kind of more spring. I know I just brought it in. I think I could hold this back till the spring. So that's a spring item. Who are you? What do you want? Is this what you want? Oh, you want? Is this what you want? That? You animals. We knew this was gonna happen eventually, all right? We knew it was coming. Y'all, in a very last minute decision, I've decided to paint the wall that had the shelves on it. It just looked too different from the rest of the booth, the other 2 walls. I don't know, I just was like, well, I don't wanna take all the painting stuff home and then decide that, yeah, I wanna paint it and bring all that stuff back. So I'm just gonna do it now. And I don't know if the shelves are gonna go back up. I haven't decided. So let's just get this painted and go from there. So my camera died, but I did get that wall painted. Then I did a little bit of sweeping, moved some furniture in and repriced a few items. But now I'm ready to actually start arranging furniture. I could not see it. I couldn't see the shell of the booth with just the furniture. I had a really hard time picturing it all together. So I did something a little extra. Hold on, let me just show you. I'm terrible at explaining things. I listed out all of the furniture pieces that I know that I have that are a possibility to put in this reset. And then I went through and tried to do like a sketch cutout of the pieces. Obviously, none of this is actually proportional to what we're working with. And then I played around with the layout. This was the layout that made the most sense, that looked the least crowded. That does unfortunately leave a couple of the pieces out for the time being. We'll either have to take them to the storage unit. This desk is actually in our office right now. Mike is using it, but I want to trade it out and put it in the booth. Sorry, Mike. He agrees it's not the best desk for him. So I wouldn't be doing this if he loved the desk, but he doesn't. That desk we currently have out anyways, so we don't really need it. And this baker's rack, we'll bring that back in the spring probably. It's got a lot of green on it, a lot of springy green, and I like that. And it could work with this setup, and so I don't know, maybe we'll have some extra room here behind this chair in this corner to put it, or maybe over here in this corner. It's there right now, and it's possible that it'll stay there, but for how the layout currently is on this little sketch, I don't necessarily need to have it in the booth. I had dreamed up a couple of different layouts, but this is the one that I like the most and I think works the best. With the exception of like 2 pieces, I have all the furniture in here that I need. This cabinet's gonna stay here, and I think that's gonna stay there, but I mean, this one's gotta go up there, that piece has to move back here, this table's gotta go over here, the table up there needs to come back here, and that round table needs to go over there. All right, let's start. Okay guys, when I ran out of time on Tuesday putting stuff together, it looked like this, but then I had to make some halftime adjustments. That awesome, beautiful marble top chest of drawers that I found at the Antique Expo. I'm not gonna say what happened, but there was an incident. The marble broke. I have had to try and glue it back together. Sometimes I have a spare piece of marble just that I've gathered up over the years, but I'm all out of my spare marble pieces. I really don't want to wait to try and find another piece of a certain size. I've glued it back together. Mike is gonna cut a little wood brace when he comes home for me to like concrete glue it to stabilize and make sure it's all good. So that took me back a little bit. But then also this other beautiful oak dresser, all I need to do was clean it up, put a little feed and wax on it, and then Mike was gonna cut a drawer bottom. I messed up by putting 2 pieces on top of it, and I didn't realize they had those felt covers on the bottom, which were not completely dry, and so they left little water stains on top. And it's real obvious, and I can't bring it in looking like that, so I'm gonna have to sand it and refinish it, which really sucks because the stain on it was so beautiful, and it's just more time. I was thinking through like what I had in the storage unit, and I did have another marble top chest of drawers. This one right here, that's you'll see in a bit. I had actually originally planned on taking it to Luckett's, but I really needed to put a protective coat on top of it just to seal in some of the varnish that was chipping off. Put a protective coat on top, and really it looks fantastic. It probably looks better than if I had tried to refinish it myself. And a piece of furniture had to be eliminated that was in the plan, which was the scaffolding table. I was gonna put it across here in the middle, but I was looking at it yesterday. I was like, you know, that's just, it's too big for the space. It's too long. It really needs to go up against a wall. And when I came in yesterday, I didn't have a ton of time and I was in a flow state. I moved the white pin needle leg table around with the brown table. I switched them, turn you a little bit. I kind of played around with that middle island display. But really what I need to work on next is hanging stuff and getting those things on the wall before I start emptying all these tubs and boxes of the smalls that I have. Guys, I have like, I counted this morning 17 tubs and boxes of smalls. It's a lot. What we're gonna do first, I really just need to hang up these clocks, really. That's what we need to do first. So I'm gonna hang up these clocks, and then I need to paint the yellow inside of this white kitchen hutch, and then I need to hang mirrors. And there's still boxes of smalls at the house. We got a lot of work to do.
Tell me where you got my cabinet.
This?
Yes.
Never mind, we're not painting that cabinet today. We're just gonna hang stuff. I have, I think, nearly everything hung up. I think once I start going through these boxes, I'll find more stuff that I need to hang up. I got most of it done yesterday, thank goodness. Today, we are going to start emptying all these totes and boxes, bringing out all the smalls. So a fellow dealer here in the antique mall that's been here longer than I have, when she was walking past my booth yesterday, noticed my chippy white step back hutch with the yellow shelves. She was like, that used to be mine in my old house. And long story short, the house she used to live in, they sold it. Whoever purchased it, I guess, sold that piece to somebody else. And I sourced that piece from that person. And I told her, well, I'm literally about to paint this yellow. Like, it's the next task that I'm doing. And she's like, oh, please wait, because I have yellow in my kitchen. It would work perfectly. I have a cabinet in there right now. we could possibly trade, but it's a little smaller. And so she sent me pictures last night and it ended up working out perfectly. She gets to take that piece and put it in her new house, and then I get this piece, which I think really goes nicely with this reset, and I don't have to paint anything. So that's really exciting. To be honest, I think it's a little more sellable just because it's smaller. I think it'll fit in more people's homes. I also brought in that chest of drawers that had the marble top. The glue product that I used to help put that together is currently curing. I don't think I'm gonna be able to bring that in today just because I want to give it a little more time to set. If that does not work, my Hail Mary attempt at including this piece in the reset is going to be to take one of the glass shelves that I have from a piece that I'm not really going to be able to sell. It's not in great shape. I think I'm going to have to trash it. It's a little too far gone as far as the wear goes, but it comes with 3 glass shelves, one of which I think is in really good shape, and it might fit on top of this dresser, which I know would be a weird thing to do, to sell a dresser with a glass top, but it might be kind of cool. At the very least, it gives me a little time to look for another marble piece, and I'll be able to set stuff on top of it. So that's the plan. Currently, I have all the marble lamps sitting in there. I kind of played around with the table set of the repurposed door table. It kind of has this funky, like, mid-century look to it. Very eclectic, especially with the hot tray cart that we have. That was a really cool find. When I was looking them up online, they were pretty expensive. I saw one that was like in the 200 range, and so I kind of split the middle. Whoever purchased one online for 200 something would have to pay a good bit in shipping anyway, so I think I still came under what that number would be. You just would need to be someone that drinks a lot of tea and likes to keep things warm. I'm trying to think what else. I feel like there was something else I had to tell you guys. I can't remember. Okay guys, I'm in the last little bit. I still don't think I'm gonna finish up today. I think I'm gonna have to come in tomorrow. It's Saturday, by the way. Brought in the marble top to that dresser, let it cure for over 24 hours, and I think it's gonna be okay. It is what it is. I've priced it accordingly, I think. The last thing I'm gonna do before I leave is start pulling out all these pillows. There's a lot of pillows. Yeah, so let's do that. So many pillows. I'm so happy with it. I'm thrilled. Why did I even paint a mural on that back wall in the first place if I was just gonna paint over it? I needed to at least try to see how I felt about it. I know it hurt a little bit, but I think this was the right choice. I love this color. I love how things look up against it. It just makes everything pop. It adds a layer of depth. And this color with the maximalist style that I think the booth has right now just works. I don't regret painting over the mural at all. I think it looks amazing. I love it. I'm really happy I did it. I kind of have an interesting mix of styles going on here. We got a lot of romantic elements to it. Kind of this half of the booth and the print that we have over here with the lamps, and then the front just with all the textures and the pillows. Behind you on the door table that I upcycled, that kind of mid-century look that it has with the colors and the clocks, but it still kind of works with everything else. It's like this little mid-century wall, and I really like how it came together. I did sell some stuff over the weekend, which meant that I needed to bring in some replacement items for those things. So for example, the pleated plaid wool skirt that the mannequin had on, that sold this weekend. So I replaced it with this cranberry velvet skirt that Tori had. That beautiful beveled edge oak dresser mirror that was on this back wall sold. Like as soon as I put it in. Did not initially have room for the lithograph bird calendar that I found at the Antique Expo, but once that sold, it ended up making a perfect open spot. Also, one of the slab clocks sold. I had kind of like this mid-century, more 80s or 90s mirror. Cleaned that up this morning and I brought that in as well and hung it where that clock was. I'm trying to think what else. I'll be honest guys, I'm glad I took those shelves down. It allowed me to bring in more furniture. I like the shelves, and I think I'll probably do some version of the shelves in the future if the space allows for it, but this ended up working out really nicely. And actually this cabinet ended up being one of my favorite things in this reset. I was planning on painting it. This cabinet was actually gonna end up being painted black, but I started styling it, and with all the little pieces, adding all that depth and texture, it's really appealing to me. There's something very cozy about it, and something to go along with that. The little pieces that I was like, oh, are these knife holders on I think it was on my Instagram story, I put that up. Somebody had mentioned, actually several of y'all had mentioned that they were probably place card holders, and I think you're right. And some other people suggested displaying antique photos with them. I had a few photos in my little ephemeral stash, just put a little $1 price tag on them, and they're in this cabinet as well. What a great idea. A great way to just display some loose photos with these little guys, or business cards, place cards, whatever you want. I'm really happy that we're able to work out that trade for the cabinets. Like I said before, I think I'm gonna be able to sell this one just a little easier just because it is a smaller size. I love how it looks. It works really well with everything else I have going on in here. I would say the weak point of this reset is definitely the front. It could be better. It really did end up becoming the afterthought. I like how it looks. I like all the dishes that I have up there, especially coming up on Thanksgiving and Christmas when you're gonna have those family meals. But I think that whole area could have been a little more creative. Another thing, guys, we have reached over 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. I can hardly believe it. It was a goal that I was hoping to meet this year. A big part in thanks to Josh and Haley. They gave me a very generous shout out over on their channel. It was very nice and I very much appreciate it. Make sure to go check out their channel as well. They just started their own booth, and so they are documenting that whole journey. I think it would be very interesting to see what they're doing over there. What they source and sell is a little different from what I source and sell, but I think you might gain some really useful information watching what they do. I know they sell a lot online, so for the people that are interested in doing that, I highly recommend that you go check out their channel and their content. One more thing before I let you go. Some of y'all probably watched the mood board video that I did a couple months ago where I laid out some thoughts and some plans about what I wanted to do for the space.
Attention, factory antique mall, cut, work. Time is now 4:55. Factory antique mall is getting ready to close. Can you please make your way to the front this time? We'd greatly appreciate it. So we can check you out in a timely manner. Once again, we are closing, so if you're still in the mall, please make your way to the front this time. If you are not purchasing an item today, go ahead and please make your way to the X source this time. The mall is now closing. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.
Okay, final thought. So you guys might remember the mood board video that I did a couple months ago when I was thinking about what I wanted to do in this space, and I came up with this design. It doesn't look exactly like this, but we're pretty darn close as far as the moodiness and the richness of the colors. That is the actual paint color that we have on the wall here. Obviously at this point it's not the fall reset, it's the transitional winter fall reset. And because it's not really a fall reset anymore, oh, there go the lights, I don't really feel like I need to get any pumpkins. I feel like it would just be a waste of money, and we have so much in here. It just would be extra noise that isn't necessary. All right guys, they're turning the lights off on me. I need to get out of here. Please remember to hit the like button and to subscribe. Also hit the bell notification, that way you can be notified for whenever I post a new video. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.